Batman 97, James Tynion IV, writing with Jorge Jimenez on the art. And more Joker War, parts 3 here, I believe, is what we're on. And this, more Batman hallucinating, talking to, fake Alfred in his ear. Sort of giving up. More punchline stuff as well. The proper introduction to the Clown Hunter.
Really like all this opening punchline Clown Hunter stuff. I think that's all excellent. And then the Batman, hallucination stuff is okay.
So all the hype around punchline, right? And I still don't have my Hell Arisen 3 and whatnot.
You'll never get around that.
Right. So I wanted to not like this character, but Tynion, with each appearance, he's doing the pacing correctly. I feel like I'm becoming endeared to this villain.
Yeah,
right?
My favorite thing about the punch, I mean, I like her threatening the grunts because they're scared to go through the Narrows because of the Clown Hunter, and I like the scene with the Clown Hunter like burning them in the Batmobile alive and all that stuff. But
a couple of things on that. I love the lettering on Clown Hunter. It's just a different font. It's a little bit smaller, rounder. It's really effective.
Well, and it's all lowercase, so it stands out. Also, him calling the gas anti-clown toxin, I thought that was like, man, that's twisted. Like,
Yeah,
So.
but what I was trying to say though is what I really like about it is it's actually later in the book. It's a later scene. It's when she goes to Joker. It breaks up in the middle of all the Batman stuff, and she mentioned earlier on that the guy who's going to kill Batman, which made me think, because she says, who you scared of more? Are you scared of some kid killing grunts, or are you scared of the guy who's going to kill Batman? And it immediately made me go, does she understand the Joker the way she thinks she does, like as well as she thinks she does? Because I don't know if she does. If she truly believes, I mean, maybe this is the change. Maybe this is the time Joker's really going to try and do it. But I don't know. Part of me thinks that she's warped her own idea of what the Joker is in her head.
The only way I can buy this is maybe the fact that the Batman is no longer the Batman, right? He's not this myth anymore. He's Bruce Wayne. Maybe that's kind of ruined it a little bit for Joker. He's like, well, I might as well just kill him now. The fun's over.
I mean, maybe.
I could see that being the angle if they wanted to, but also maybe Punchline's just wrong. Yeah,
I almost think it's more interesting if she's just because she's this like devout like believer of who the Joker is, and she's like this loyal follower. It's actually kind of interesting if she's misplaced like what she thinks he's all about. But the thing I really like though is later on when she's telling him about the Clown Hunter, and she's really pissed about he keeps killing her grunts, and Joker's reaction is like, it's wonderful, this is great news. And she's like, what, we're not going to do anything about it? Well, no, of course we are. Go send some of the heavies in and go and crucify him in front of everyone. But that's chaos. There's chaos happening because we're changing the city. I actually like sometimes conversations with the Joker, especially Joker and his henchmen, don't necessarily they usually go too far. Whatever. I thought this was pitch perfect in terms of just the chaotic, evil, and playful side of Joker and the way he looks at the world differently. And then, of course, I also like Punchline's reaction to Joker implying that it's finally time to maybe kill Harley, and she's like, oh. It's like the actual bubble's about effing time, but the art makes it look like she's like a little girl who's just heard she's finally getting the ice cream she wants. It's like such a cross between them. It's great.
And I think other writers fall into the trap of making Joker too crazy, but he has to have an idea of what's going on for him to be fully realized. That's why I like the Ledger Joker from Dark Knight, right? Is he's a liar, and he's like, do I look like a guy with a plan? Where he meticulously plans everything out, and so, but he rides that line because then he also, ad-libs as he's going. And here I feel like that tone Tynion really gets.
Yeah.
With this conversation with Punchline.
I also kind of dug when he's just kind of explaining to her, hey, we made a move, so now we wait for him to make his move. And he's a little bit out of it, so it'll take a bit of time. But we wait, because that's the game. It's back and forth.
That's what I mean about the plan. Like, he has this plan, and he's not afraid to ad-lib if he can. He's like, well, yeah, maybe it's time to kill Batman, but we'll do it in due time, But yeah, so it's I like that. And go ahead, Connor.
I'd just say the other reason that Punchline maybe says, the person is about to kill Batman, it's possible she knows that he's not. It's just a threat to scare the goons.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of interesting possibilities there with that does she eventually break away from Joker, not because she becomes good like Harley, but because she realizes that the Joker's not exactly what she thought he was, and she wants to be her own type of villain that, what she believed to aspire to be in the first place. So I thought all the Joker punchline stuff in this was actually really good, and it's sometimes we come out of comics going, the Joker stuff's maybe the weakest because they overplay the hand a little bit or whatever. This was not the case here. I actually thought this stuff was the best in the issue. That stuff was fine, like fighting. He does a Daredevil thing where he puts like a blindfold over his eyes because he can't trust his eyes. It's a chance for Jimenez to draw a lot of big like fighting with fire in the background and all that.
I'm glad it was Jimenez on art because it looks great.
Oh sure, yeah.
Trying to get the cover that wasn't, this was very difficult. By the time I got to my shop, those were gone. So yeah. That wasn't good.
I actually really like the Harley stuff that comes after as well, like her having the sock puppet of Ace the Bat Hound.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's me, Ace the Bat Hound.
I don't know, that cracked me up. And then her giving Batman something to drink, be like, hey, this will cleanse your system. And then after drinks, it's like, oh, by the way, you're gonna trip balls first.
So yeah, I love the idea. So they go to this Eden that Ivy has set up, which I love. Just the idea that all the villains have a hideaway that Batman doesn't know about, because we saw it with Penguin, right? That they're all hanging out at his. So the fact that Ivy has her own somewhere, and then she basically gives him ayahuasca to make him come out of whatever he's in, and that cracked me up. Like, of course that's Harley. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
The panel that close to his eye, just widening. That made me actually laugh.
Just before I go on for it, because I'm still sitting on this page, when Punchline and Joker are talking, I love the panel when she's talking about Clown Hunter. There's one panel of him in the middle of the page of him blowing up like a truck, presumably one of theirs. I thought the art in that particular panel just looked fantastic. With the explosion behind him, it's really good. But he trips balls and Harley's head goes Jokerized and then sort of basically falls off, but looks of it, or maybe does like a full like 360 clock kind of motion.
To me, it's with Jimenez has like an action thing. It's like it's snapping, reminiscent of Alfred.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I took it as, and again, leave it to tie in to clean up these threads that King left.
The final page, of course, is that Alfred's there because he's tripping and he's going to talk to Alfred. And I'm not necessarily sure if I'm excited about the idea of a Vision Quest style issue next time. But I mean, Tynan keeps doing good with this. So
at least it's only one issue and not 9.
And also, it's not even going to be the full issue because it also says next Harley Quinn versus Punchline round 2. So it's going to be interspersed with some real world action.
Yeah. Honestly, Harley vs Punchline, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I know, it's taken me years to realize this in comics. Is like, there's certain characters that annoy me, but when you can just enjoy them, in other ways, like normally, like years ago, I would have been annoyed by Harley versus Punchline. They're like, oh, they're just trying to sell. But it's like, well, no, maybe because it's Tynan writing it, or I'm just at a different place where I was like, oh no, that's something I want to see because it's been handled so well,
and it's been set up. It's made me excited for it because of the first interaction, because of how both of them have and even just like small moments like this one where like Punchline's face when Joker says maybe it's time to finally kill Harley. Those little reactions from both of them separately whenever they talk about the other one has made me excited for the showdown. So it's just good writing, and it doesn't matter who you like or don't like. Good writing is, if it's good enough, can overcome almost anything in terms of that. See Tom Taylor and Jason Todd for example of such.
You see also Tom Tater as a whole different
Tom
character.
Tater Tots.
Tom Tater, Tom Taylor and Dakin and Wolverine. Same kind of vibes.
Tom Tater is really upset because sometimes he gets confused with Tom Ting. So Matt, what are you gonna give Batman?
I'm gonna give this one an 8, and I'm riding high on Jimenez's art here. I really like it.
Sure, Cara?
Yeah, it's an 8 from me too.
Damn it! Stop lighting up with me.
See, this is the thing. I want to be a little more positive here, but I feel like I don't know if I want to go to the 8.5 because the Batman, fighting all the Jokers in his head, whatever. It's, that kind of.
That's what stops it being the 8.5 for me. That 4 or 5 page section.
So I'm also gonna go with an 8, but I don't like this trend of all three of us having the same rating now. 2 books in a row.
Because now it makes my ratings actually mean something.
We didn't have the same rating on the last book. Me and Matt had 7.5, and Pete said 7.
But they were around the same,
I'll be honest, I forgot what we rated the last book. I assumed it was the same.
Damn it.
I don't remember these things. Or I think I remember them. Clearly I don't.